welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Today we are looking at the largest phylum in the animal kingdom, the most advanced phylum of all animals. Please come along with me.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
We are looking at the phylum Vertebrata or phylum Chordata. But now WAEC or NECO prefer the phylum Chordata instead of Vertebrata. But if you are used to Vertebrata, please stay along with your Vertebrata. But I want you to stay more with Chordata. We are going to be guided by these slides. The first one I'm starting with is characteristics of the phylum Vertebrata. The first part is they are bilateral symmetrical. That means when they are divided along their plane, they can only be divided into two parts to give two equal parts, right and left. All vertebrates are bilateral symmetrical. That means you can only be cut along a single plane to give the equal parts, the left and the right. The next one says they have an internal skeleton. One of the most advanced structure in animal is the skeleton. That is why the vertebrata are the most advanced of all the animal and the well-adapted group of animal. The next one, they have well-developed central nervous system and sex organ. These are the structures that allow them to adjust to change in the environment, sense new and sensible changes in their environment. Their skin is covered with scale, feathers, and hair. In some, they have scale on their body. In some, they have feather. In some, they have hair. Then, there is presence of notochord at early stage of their life. In man, the notochord is the last small cartilage at the back or at our waist. There is a depression at the lower parts of our abdomen. That depression is the notochord. In the early stage of our development, the notochord is present. It's because of this notochord that we are classified as vertebrate or chordata. The next one is they are metamerically segmented. That means every part of the body is divided into segments. Internally, it's divided into segments. Then the limbs form from more than one segment. Limb includes our leg or our hands. The next one is classes of chordata. We have the aginatas and aginosomata. These ones are the jaw. They don't have jaw. These ones, they have jaw. Jaw is the lower part of the head. This one, they have jaws. This one do not have jaws. This one, they have jaw. And we have four main classes of the phylum Chordata. We have the class Species, we have the class Amphibia, we have the class Reptilia, we have the class Aves, and the class Mammalia. Please, if you ask to list the class, it is not species. It is not amphibians. Amphibians are for the animal. Amphibia for classes. Reptilia for classes. And Mammalia for classes. It is only aves and species that are still carrying the normal related to English words. But amphibia, reptilia, and mammalia, they are scientific. It must be written scientifically. Amphibia, reptilia, and mammalia, not amphibians, not reptiles, not mammals. Class is amphibia, reptilia, and mammalia. Let's go along and look at characteristics, few characteristics of each of these groups. I start with the class Species. These are fishes, and they are mostly aquatic. their body is covered with scales, and their fertilization is external. That means they lay egg, the female lay egg, then the male drop his own sperm on it. That's why the fertilization is external. Then they possess fin for movement. Their major movement or locomotory organ is the fin, and they have different kind of fin on their body which permits different kind of movement. Then they have a streamline body shape which make it easy for them to swim in water. And this class is also divided into two groups, chondrotrichs and osteichthyes. The chondrotrichs are the cartilaginous fish. The cartilage, as we know, is a soft skeletal tissue, very flexible. That is why if you look at most of our sharks, they are very fast and flexible. Then these ones are bony fishes. Example is our catfish. Example of this is our sharks. The next group is the class amphibian. Amphibian because they have dual lives. They live one part of their life in water and one part of their life on land. That's why they are called amphibians. They are cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals are animals that adjust their body temperature to suit that of their environment. The environmental temperature is high. They try to raise their own body temperature too to be high so that they can survive in the environment. They are cold-blooded animals. They spend most of their time on land, but reproduce and lay egg in water. Like I said before, the early part of their life is in water. Then the adult life is on land, most especially in moist places. Their skin is liquid. That means they don't have scale on the skin. They have two pairs of limbs with webbed toes, two in front and two at the back. The hind limb is muscular, which allow their hopping movements. Then they have gill at the tadpole stage for external respiration. These are examples of some amphibians. We have the frog, we have the salamanders, we have the toad, and we have the newts. These are examples of amphibians. The next group is glass reptilia. Their skin is covered by dry scales, which prevents water loss. Remember, amphibians, as their skin is moist. But in this case, because they are fully on land, that is why their skin is dry and is covered by scale to prevent loss of water. Gaseous exchange is carried out through lungs, and their fertilization is internal. And eggs are laid on the land. That means fertilization occurs within the female body before the eggs are laid in water. And they are also cold-blooded animals. That means they adjust their body temperature to suit their environment. These are examples of reptilia. We have the lizard, we have the crocodile, we have the snake, we have the gecko, we have the chameleon, and we have the tortoise and turtle. Tortoise is the one that stays on land. Turtle is the one we find inside the ocean. The next group is the class aves. One of the most advanced groups in the animal kingdom is aves. The aves, they also have pentadental limbs, in which one of their limbs has been modified to form the wings, which they use for flight. They are warm-blooded animals. Warm-blooded animals are animals that keep their body temperature constant. When the environmental temperature changes, their own body temperature remains the same. It does not change. Along with mammalian, class aves is another group that is warm-blooded. Then the feather is on their skin. The feather is for temperature regulation. And they have scales on their feet, which also regulates body water loss. Then they lay egg that is covered with hard shell for it to survive on land. And the egg has a lot of yolk inside. The yolk is the one that develops into the offspring at a later year. No, they don't have larval stage because the egg develops into the offspring. Their fertilization is internal. Fertilization occurs within the body of the female, but the eggs are laid outside. These are examples of birds that belong to the class Aves. We have the sparrow, we have the dove, we have the parrot, we have the kingfisher, we have the ostrich, we have the ravens. These are different groups of birds that we have. The next group is the class Mammalia, the most advanced group of all the animal kingdom. Now, they have pentadectal leaves. That means their leaves are arranged in fives. The digits are arranged in fives. They are warm-blooded animals. Animals that keep their body temperature constant. One of the reasons why most parasites, especially mosquito, loves our body, because our body is always warm. And they need our blood to warm up their egg, which is always warm. So they need this blood constant. So animals that keep their body temperature constant are warm-blooded animals. Hair with sweat gland covers their skin. Then there is presence of mammary gland, which produce milk for their young ones. Then they have four-chambered heart. It is only mammalia that has four-chambered heart. That is why we can survive under any condition. That is why we are more adapted to different environments. Their fertilization is internal. Then they are viviparous. That means the baby develop within their body. They don't lay egg. Baby develop within the body. That is why they are called viviparous animal. These are examples of animals that belong to the class Mammalia. We have the lion, we have the zebra, we have the whale, we have the primates, and so on and so forth. The next is our practice question. This is meant to see if we understand what we have been saying since. I'll give you a few minutes to go over the practice question. When I come back, we'll review it together. Welcome back. I hope you are able to jot some few things down. Let's go through the practice question together. The first question says, complete the table below by stating the major class of the phylum Chordata and give one example of each. The first one we have here is the class Spices, which example is shark, catfish, and ray. But recently, for WAEC and NECO, this class has been subdivided into chondrites and osteostasis. Chondrites and osteostasis. So in case you cannot write spices, you stay with chondrites and osteostasis. Specifically during practical exam, if you are given a class of fish, you must state the categorically. For example, you are given tilapia fish. Tilapia fish is a bony fish. So you state osteostasis instead of spices. But if you are confused on what to write, please stay with spices. The next group is amphibian. Remember, I said it's not amphibians, it's amphibian. Amphibia is class, not amphibian. Amphibian is the name for the animals. Amphibia is the class. Example we have here is toad, frog, and newt. The next one is reptilia, not reptiles. Reptilia is the class. Reptile is the name for the group. Reptilia, example is lizard, snake, and gecko. Some have beautiful colors, but they are scary. Snake is scary. Crocodile is scary. War gecko is it looks fine, but it's scary. Lizard, they have beautiful colors, but they are scary. They are reptiles. The next one is aves. Aves, we have our domestic fowl, or the one we call chicken. We have pigeon, ostrich. For example, you need specific example. Be careful in writing birds. They want example. So you don't need to write bird. You write specific example. Bird is a general name. Specific example. The last group we have here is mammalia, not mammals. Mammal is an English term used to qualify this class. Mammal. So it's mammalia. Class mammalia. Example, man, lion, dog, cat. All animals that have hair on their body belong to the class mammalia. Anyone you can think of, cattle, cow, sheep, lion, cheetah, leopard, they belong to the class mammalia. The next question says state characteristics of the class Pisces, amphibia, and mammalia. The first one, class Pisces, or chondrites and ostasis. The first one is they are fishes, which are aquatic. They live in water. They are cold-blooded animals. You can separate it. They are aquatic animal. They are cold-blooded animal. Cold-blooded means they vary their body temperature to suit their environment. Their body is covered with scale. The fertilization is external. Their gaseous exchange or excretion is through the gills. They possess fin for locomotion. They have streamlined body shape. One of the most important adaptive features in their body is their streamlined body shape. Their body is easy, make it easy for movement in water. The next group is the class amphibia. They are also cold-blooded animal. They also lay egg. They are found in moist environments. They live part of their life in water. The next group, they have naked, moist skin because their skin is not covered by scale. Their skin is always moist. The moist there is to make it easy for gaseous exchange. The next one is fertilization is external. They fertilize their egg outside the body of the female. The next one, they have two pairs of limbs, two in front, two in leg. What we call leg and hand is what we refer to as limbs. The two in front are the forelimbs. The two at the back are the hind limb. The next is presence of pentadactyl limbs. Limbs that are arranged in fives or digits that are arranged in fives. 5 fingers in man. The same thing for this animal. They have fives. Their digits are arranged in fives. The next group we are looking at is the last group, mammalia. The mammalia, like the other, they have pentadactyl limbs. Their limbs are arranged in fives. The next one is they are warm-blooded animal or homothermic animal. The other group is poikilothermic. They are cold-blooded. Warm-blooded animal are homothermic animal. The next one is their body is covered with hair. That means they have hair in their skin which produce sweat as an excretory waste product. The next one is the presence of mammary gland. The mammary gland produce milk which their young ones suck at the early stage of their lives. The next one, they have 4-chambered heart. Other group like spices, they have only 1-chambered heart. Amphibian has 3-chambered heart. There's only mammalia and aves that has 4-chambered heart. This 4-chambered heart is an adaptation for well adapted to the environment they find themselves and good supply of blood. The next one is the eggs are small and the young develop inside the mother. That is why they are called, their fertilization is internal. Egg is inside, fertilization is internal. And they are called viviparous animal because they don't lay egg. The egg and the baby develop within the mother. So all animals that baby develop within the mother are viviparous animal. We have come to the end of this class today. I hope the practice question helps you a lot. For any question, comment, and observation, feel free to contact us on our social media handles that will display on the screen. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.